Excuse me again. I should clear my voice before I should clear my throat before I start talking. Anyway, we're back, continuing the search for the early axes. Hopefully, we hopefully we can find these before we have to go sailing in search of new meadows. I would love to have them on our homeland. You know, walking across the floor just there, I'm real tempted. We're running through the meadows and we're heavily armored for the mountains. Completely unnecessary. Let's try a level lighter load. Maybe we can get around quicker in this troll armor. It definitely, you can feel it when you're running and walking. It's so much snappier and quicker. It's a 10% difference. Our stamina will last longer. So let's give that a shot. Okay. We're going to grab this before we take a look at the map. Looks like we got all the pieces to the portals, so let's get ready to travel. So this looks like just kind of a peninsula string of islands that we're going to finish out with. And then we have this. This is all black forest. This is mountains. And we have this much left. After that, we've got some land over here, but we know this is partially plains and partially swamp. So let's finish out this peninsula. We'll double back and then we'll pick up the search right back here. So we got a little black forest and we don't need to go in it. But I'm doing it just because I want to see the extent of this coastline. It's just my desire to have a complete map. There's no reason to be out here doing this. Doesn't serve our purpose. Other than I love to pick blueberries. We got a spawner out here. This is bigger than I expected. I thought it was just this little thin peninsula. But let's get ready for this spawner. What was, got a skeleton? So I call them spawners. Officially they're called a gray dwarf nest. Each one contains one of those ancient seeds that we needed for calling down the elder. And we'll save him just in case we ever want to call him again. That was a bear? Or possibly a troll, but I definitely heard somebody growl at us. I think it's a troll. I don't really want to stop for a troll fight right now. So hopefully we're sneaky enough to get by him. And then we get another gray dwarf nest up ahead. I feel like the land has deceived me. I thought we were on a peninsula. Now I'm not really seeing that. Got a brute here. Yeah, I thought that guy was destroyed. Okay. Gotta take a peek at the map here. Where? Huh. It's gonna be interesting. I'm real curious to see how this shapes up. That's where we just came from. Looks like we've got a copper vein, copper deposit, and a burial chamber with a 2-star, 1-star skelly out front. And don't shoot me right now, I'm kind of busy. That did not work. Alright, we're not losing much health, so... Not too worried about him shooting arrows right now. Because he doesn't realize he's not hitting us. Well, maybe we should get a weapon out. Works much better. Alright. This is practically its own island. Because that little continent of land, little peninsula of land that we used to come out here was really thin, but now it got real wide. And there's a swamp. Where? That's certainly unexpected. Somehow, I didn't think that that was going to double back all the way back to this part, but it does. So that's just really interesting. So we've got some swamp. I'll be. Now I may regret having changed into light armor. But we're not going to go too far into the swamp. Do we have more mountains here? Got another copper deposit. And yes, we have more mountains here. Just want enough to make it clear. Oh, and there's a little bit of meadows here. So that was certainly unexpected. What a great little place to hide the axe head would be. In this little section of meadows that nobody comes to. Well, I'd hoped that we were searching another part of the land, but it looks like I switched things up on this. Alright, let's get back to the edge of the swamp. And there's an A-frame style house. Is it the A-frame style house we're looking for? That I am not sure of. Looks like we're out of luck this time. Okay, we probably don't need rocks. We don't need any more ancient seeds. We really don't need flint. And you can keep these axes too. I mean, these torches, we don't need those. Don't need another Grey Dwarf trophy. Gotta keep the eyes. Don't need bones. Not in a great need of any of this stuff. So let's just put it in here and they can keep it while we continue searching. Not much of a swamp, but there is some there. I wouldn't mind finding a iron mine right there, or sunken crypt. But they're pretty hard to spot if you don't go in the forest itself. Alright, there's the end of the swamp. That looks like Meadows. Let's quickly run back here and finish off this section of the mountains for completeness on our map, which that looks good. And oh, B. We're going to run into the plains as we keep going this way. So we'll want to keep an eye out for that, because that can be detrimental to your health. Don't have any poison resistance, so I don't really want to run into that blob. I mean, we're not here for anything but the early axe, so this swamp isn't going to get searched out today. But we got some more boar meat ahead. Couple of deer we don't need. Uh-oh. This looks like it could be... Yes, I hear him. This is a diverger. Diverger. Diverger? However you pronounce it. Buildings. Now, if the early axe is in there, I don't know if we're going to go get it today. Especially not with our light armor. But boy, I am so tempted to go for it. It's a kind of a stupid idea, but Drew, Druger? I can't remember even how they spell their name. That was a weird sound. What was that? Didn't recognize it. I'm surprised he's not being stung by the bees. D-R-A-U-G-R. They're poison resistant anyway, so it really wouldn't matter. He doesn't have a spawner in his house. So if, or does he? I don't see one. So if I can take him out. Oh, well there he goes. Come on. There you go. This is suicidal. I want to take out that roof piece. So I can shoot the spawner. The body pile, I believe is what they call it. I'm not hitting? Must be to the left. Now I'm out of stamina. Oh look! Now we can take out the body pile. Health is getting low. Her aim is not going to get us, so that's good. We've got the hill protecting us. Having this elevation advantage for taking out the body piles, very handy. Oh, come on back here. We didn't get our rested bonus. That's too bad. Maybe we just do that here. At least get some because our I don't have the stones for it. Hold still right there, I got you. Looking for a treasure chest. I don't see one. Want to be careful that I don't get any undue attention. Boy, it seems like night came awfully early. All right, let's head back to base camp. Just need some flat ground that we can easily put a portal on. This looks promising. You know, I should have started this before I started the fight with the Drugar. D-R-A-U-G-R. Is that what we said? And that's in the wrong place. Let's mark it when we get back. Here we go. There, we get them all back on the same timer, all the food, so they all run out at the same time. That makes it easier to manage, at least for me. I want to get close to see if I can hear a body pile, and I don't. So we're going to try to take this. That was not too bad. very little damage to us. Cleared this building, so now we got the big hall to clear. And we can't get the elevation on it. But is there a body pile in it? Yeah, you hear those flies? Yeah. There's the body pile in there. And we got at least two. Two Druger. Draugr? You tell me. I don't know. And I'm not seeing, there's no opening where we can get elevation and shoot down on it. And then there's a body pile in here. And we got one bow person so far. Once we step in there though, there's going to be a second person spawn. Let's see what we can do from up here. Any chance I can stand up there? No. He was my canary in the coal mine. When we were here earlier, I was using him running around the buildings to let me know if there were any draugrs that were out and about. But it looked like all of them were kind of stuck in the building. So, let's do this. Let's get a little elevation. If we could charge in there and just take this out, I mean, that'd be the easy way to do it. Ah, look at those two looking up at us. Like, what are you doing on my house? There's no body pile in this building, so we should be able to take it out. But I think we can get a shot on the body pile from here. Yeah, maybe not. Now, if she breaks out before we get in, we'll have a more interesting fight on our hand. I think we're hitting the body pile. We're getting 15 damage on something. There's 32 even. Hopefully it's not the wall. I don't want to take the wall out until the body pile's gone. There, I saw the body pile even kind of splash up that time, so... Not that time. That looked promising. There we go. There's the body pile. I don't think I can get the Draugr from here. Let's just go do her. Let's take these two out first, though. Get that shield ready. There we go. Now, this is an A-frame house, but is it possible it's guarded by Draugrs? I doubt it. I just don't think that's the idea behind the early axes. Okay. Now this one. So much easier with those body piles gone. And we don't have to worry about somebody like an elite popping out of it when we're low on stamina or low on health. Alright, the only one we've got left is the main building. And there's no openings, so this is going to be the one that gets us killed. Let's do it. There's the elite and the archer. And we let our stamina run down. Yeah. Very, very poorly executed. We could be a lot smarter in our execution. But I think we might test out the root armor that we have. Where did we put that? There it is. So that chest piece should be good against the arrows. And then let's match that with the rest of our iron. We've got our banded shield, that's not bad. Don't have a great weapon. The bronze axe, it's not terrible. It's not quite as good as our bronze mace. Okay, so we've got 23 to 37 or 17. So we're going to go with the mace. Not as good as our iron mace, but it's not bad. Now there's the advantage too, having dropped the portal first, unlike what we did previously. This is going to be a little lower than what we had, but shouldn't be too bad. Same stamina food, same sausages, but the cooked bear meat doesn't quite keep up with the other food we had. However, we can throw some of these on our hot bar for an emergency. We should be in good shape. Let's one more tick of health. And then we'll take out that body pile and that elite. Just bad planning on my part, running in there without stamina. Okay, there's the archer. They're outside now. That looks like a starred. Yeah, that's a 1-star archer. Now that elite's around here somewhere. He's still stuck up on top there. Oh, and another archer. Got the body pile, so we're in pretty good shape. Alright, we're just gonna have to double up some stuff here. Don't really need a torch. I wish that was a chest instead of my corpse, though. Have we got it? There's no chest in here. Actually, this is a neat trick. First time you've been in one of these buildings, let's drop a crafting table down here, because I think we're out of range of any of our other ones. And let's tear this platform apart. So, just so we can see what we're doing here, just take out these walls and that floor, and you'll almost always find a treasure chest or two underneath this platform when you find this type of building. I don't think we're really hurting for arrows, so I'm gonna leave them behind. We are short on our own arrows, so maybe we should grab some of these. And we definitely need to repair. I don't know that we need one piece of core wood. There we go. And we should probably pick this up, because we don't need it here. I like this building design. I think it's pretty cool. Really good, great haul for the Diverger. Somebody tell me how to pronounce that. The Drugar. I'm going to call him Drugar. Draugr? No, I'll call him Draugr. You know what? For these guys. Alright, let's see if we can find our portal. I think it's right here. We'll drop off this excess stuff we have. Switch back to our straight up troll hide with the 15% sneak. It's kind of the way I want to run. Let's get our regular iron mason buckler. You know, we could have used our iron axe. No, we didn't have it with us. Never mind. It's not very smart thing to say. Put that root armor back. Do some quick repairs. We got just a couple minutes of daylight left. I'm not sure it's worth the time to portal back, pick up the portal, and then have to reset it later tonight, so let's go without it. Let's just get a good night's rest. Well, we're not finding the axes, but we are finding out the extent of our homeland. Now we're going to be real careful because we're wandering around in the early dawn, and the next thing that we're probably going to find is the plains. Yep. So we know there's plains real close to here. Let's head back to the village and map that coastline up to the plains. That would have been actually quite the adventure had they been guarding the last early axe head. That would have been so fitting. That tower, I think that's a fueling tower. And this is not the kind of building we're going to find. But that's the plains. That's the edge of our meadows. Don't want to get too close to that. But I am going to go as far as the pig farm over there. Now there's definitely going to be fuelings there, so we're going to hightail it out of here. Pretty easy to get killed right here. Something killing boars nearby, and they're probably coming out of the plains to do it. Now there's that area. Looks like the plains meets the mountains. But it's identifying as all meadows. So let's just try to draw out these mountain areas. Now we're freezing. That's not good. And now we're at the edge of the plains. So that's as far as we go that way. Don't want to quit freezing. And we'll just skirt the mountains here to finish out our nothing chasing us. That's good. Alright, let's check the map here. So I think we've filled all this in. Looks like we want to run back to the Black Forest edge right here. Skirt around that side of the mountains. So let's head that way. Where the mountains and the meadows meet is deceiving to me. It really looks like it's... Alright. Come back here, we'll play. Wish I had you back at the home base. Or better yet, West Shore. Take that one star boar and start breeding us a new sound of pigs. Gets narrow here between the mountains and the swamp. All ground that we've already covered. Well, these mountains look promising for maybe a trip to get us some wolves someday. Getting them back home will not be easy. So from here on in, it's Black Forest. And I think we can kind of... What's that over there? That says Black Forest. And that is still Black Forest to Plains. That's Meadows. Alright, let's keep scouting out the edge of these mountains. Even though it's the Black Forest, we're gonna head back into bear. Tired of bears. Now we're freezing again. Ooh. Where'd you go? That is not the kind of treasure chest we're going to find anything in. Can stack those up. Alright. I just want to see the edge of the mountains. So we'll leave the adventuring for another day. This is strictly mapping. I would have thought we would hit some land that we'd already explored somewhere in here. But so far, no go. Big copper deposit. Lots of mountains. Which is, oh, even I hear a wolf, so that's very promising for our ability to tame some wolves in these mountains. I've never looked or paid attention to whether you can have more than one excuse me, motor altar. You've got more than one ether altar. The other altars, I've never looked for multiples. Don't see a chest, so let's move on. And even if it was a chest, it wouldn't be the chest we're searching for. Alright, and there's our bear friend. Maybe we can barely get away. Still scouting the edge of those mountains. Another copper deposit. And to think we had a hard time finding our first one. Alright, let's get some stamina back. Let's take a look. Oh, we got a whole train behind us. Feels like the sun's going down on our mountain retreat here. So maybe this is a good time to throw down a portal. Let's check our map real quick. Oh yeah, there's a good section of mountains there. Yeah, we've got all that black forest and we're almost back to the meadows. Let's make it to the meadows before we stop for the night. I don't understand what happens. We started out, all of them had the same 25 minutes. And now, the deer meat has run out before anything else. I don't understand how that happens. I hear the heavy footsteps of a troll. Just don't see where he's coming from. There he is. You come around this way, and we're gonna run around the other way. Hopefully we lose him before we get to the meadows, and this is nothing to worry about. I think we lost him. There goes the rusted buff. And here's the meadows. So this is what we've been hoping to get back to. And this is where we'll start our search. And that will be in another episode of the search for the early axes. Gonna wrap this one up right after we get home. And right after we search this last building right here. Which is an A-frame structure, but doesn't look extremely promising. It's fairly dilapidated. There's a tree growing in the middle of it. There's no treasure chest in here. There is a very off chance, extremely off chance, that there's a treasure chest inside that tree. But I seriously doubt that's the case. Would have to be perfectly placed. Okay. We're not going to find out. Going to put this down. Get our workbench on some level ground. Drop our portal. Jump back to home base. Clean out our inventory. And we'll pick it up. I can smell dinner. Grandma's probably waiting for me, and I should be hurrying there. Because if she's going to take the time to cook, the least I can do is show up on time. Oh, we got 50 already? Wow, that's way too fast. And we're way too full. Let's get rid of the treasure that we can get rid of. It's about time to, let's see. We could free up a lot of slots if we go see Hildir. Don't make that mistake again. If anybody knows why the food timings get out of sync, because I know I started them both at 25. Let me know in the comments. That'd be Grandma telling me it's dinner time. I better hurry. Rude of me to keep her waiting. Okay. We'll drop this in here. We don't need that. Don't need the eyes. That's it for all. For now, all. That's it for now, all. I'm Grandpa Bud. We're playing Valheim. Thank you so much.